Good afternoon, everybody. Good morning, good evening, whenever you're listening. My name is Jay Victor. Welcome to another episode of Official Rules, a sweepstakes podcast coming to you somewhat live this beautiful Wednesday, January 8th at almost 1 p.m. Thank you for joining me for another episode today, episode number 23 of the Official Rules podcast. Email lines are open, sweepstakespodcast@gmail.com, sweepstakespodcast@gmail.com. You can also touch base on our socials by Googling Official Rules Podcast on Google, Bing, or your favorite search provider. A lot of stuff going on, one day delayed because my son started basketball yesterday. So scheduling-wise, I couldn't get my show outline together quick enough, so I decided to do it on Wednesday instead of Tuesday, which also gave some room to see if any new sweepstakes came up, and it's been an interesting beginning of the year. I certainly wish everyone the best in this new year, as well as keeping our fingers crossed for any wins that are coming in, as they typically do within a week to 4 weeks of the month end, sometimes 6 weeks, but we'll see what happens. I was actually surprised yesterday on a sweepstakes that I had forgot I entered because I found it by accident. So last year, I was attempting to win a family vacation to Jamaica by watching the Sherry Show. I believe it's Sherry Shepherd. It's a talk show that's on during the day, so I would DVR it, and I would try to fast forward through the show, unless it had an interesting guest on, so I would watch bits and pieces of it, but I would try to get to the key words so I could enter it in and have a chance to win that vacation. So as far as I know, nothing came of the vacation. However, the lead into that program is the game show Pictionary, hosted by, I believe it's Jerry O'Connell, actor from the 80s and 90s. So he hosts this Pictionary show, and at the end of the show, there's a QR code on the screen that I took a shot at, and I scanned it, and it brings you to a sweepstakes, or brought you to a sweepstakes by a company called Bartesian, Premium Cocktails on Demand. So imagine you have a Keurig coffee machine, but instead of a tank or two tanks filled with water, you have a tank or two tanks or four tanks filled with various alcohol, and you have pods or capsules that you enter in to the machine to make you a drink. Well, wouldn't you know who won the pony for a $250 gift certificate for this brand? Now, I was able to purchase their Duet cocktail maker, but they did charge shipping. Obviously, there's nothing completely free in the world, but it's a legit company. I checked everything out. I did have to pay the $15 shipping. And the cocktail maker, the one I got was the, how should I say it? It holds two types of liquor instead of four. They have a massive one that holds four types of liquor, but that one is like over $350. So I wanted to get this thing as free as possible. So it cost me $15 shipping. It's on its way. I'm going to give it to my cousin as a housewarming gift because I don't drink beer or alcohol. And I had never thought I would win this thing because I only entered the Pictionary game. I think it was 9 times out of the total month that I was recording the Sherry Show. But thank you to Bartesian and Pictionary for this great sweepstakes. I'm very excited to gift this to my cousin, who is younger than me, who tends to party a little bit more than me. So him and his wife usually have people over, and this will be an interesting thing to see how it works and how it goes over at parties. The capsules are packaged either by single purchase or subscription. Obviously, it costs less to subscribe, but you can get all one type of drinks. They have variety packs. So pretty interesting. So thank you once again to Bartesian and Pictionary, $250 value. And it will go on my my Excel spreadsheet as a win. So I'm 8 days into 2025. And along with this $250 retail win, I had a $10 Amazon gift card from Sapporo Ichiban. So thank you to those folks, as well as a $15 credit to DraftKings for picking some games right. So I love putting in, bets on DraftKings, but only with money that I win from DraftKings. I don't come out of pocket. So they do have a lot of games that you could play for free and win $5, $10, $20, $25. And in turn, once you win those, you can place a $5, $10 parlay. Eventually lose because the parlays are a sucker bet, and the sports books make about 90% of their money on parlays every year. But it's fun nonetheless, especially if you're not using any of your own money. So once again, yay for me. Thank you to Bartesian and Pictionary, and good luck to all of you who are still waiting on some results from sweepstakes that ended our wonderful year of 2024. And speaking of coming to an end, it was mentioned in the last podcast, but we got two big ones coming to the end, and this is also one of the parts of my show, so it will be sorely missed, the TCL Seasons of More giveaway. We have struck out for 16 straight weeks, unfortunately. There has been near none of TV given away during this sweep. However, it will be your last chance to enter. We are going into the wild card playoff mode, and there will be games on January 11th, 12th, and 13th on the official rules for TCL's website. It does mention that the teams are to be determined. The teams in this case are irrelevant because all we're looking for is any kind of touchdown that goes 98 or more yards, be it a kickoff, a punt return, an interception return for a touchdown, a run, a pass, anything that is 98 or more yards, as well as resulting in a touchdown in the same play, will unlock the beast and release 251 98-inch TCL TVs with a retail value just under $4,000, which is well over $1 million worth of TVs. There's going to be a bunch of games coming up this weekend. So if you have not entered this TCL sweep, just enter it this one time and get a shot of being one of 251 winners. There was a big giveaway last year, and I know a lot of the folks on the sweepstakes forums and Facebook groups. There were a handful of people that I knew that won a massive TV. So good luck to all of you who enter in that one, as well as Toyota's game day giveaways. This was also mentioned last week. They are up to Challenge 8, the Wild Card Playoffs. And as it's listed on their website, in one first-round matchup of the NFL playoffs, and it says game to be announced, any points scored in the last 2 minutes of regulation could score you a 2025 Toyota Land Cruiser. So I linked this on the sweepstakes pages last week. I'm going to link it again along with the TCL sweepstakes because it's basically a one and done. It's going to be a random chance to win. Toyota's a great brand. And the Land Cruiser, although it's not the Land Cruiser of old, from what I've seen on the outside, I haven't test-driven one because I'm not in the market for a vehicle, but I would certainly take this one. From the outside, it's a great-looking, sharp vehicle. So good luck to everybody who enters that one. Before we get into a list of new sweepstakes or the top 5, wanted to mention I've been doing a great job sticking to my New Year's resolution of not entering each and every single sweep that I see, kind of being a little bit pickier. There is a great sweepstakes that gives you a trip to WrestleMania through Nissan Foods, which I believe is the parent brand of cup noodles. And you can enter without purchase. You could send mail to them, but the frequency gives you allows you up to 12 entries per person per day, and this runs from January 6th to March 13th. So if anyone's interested, you can search Nissan Foods Can You Handle the Heat sweepstakes online. Should easily take you there. 2 tickets to WrestleMania 41, a check for $800, hotel room, trip to Vegas. Very cool prize, but not something that I want to cramp up my hand with and use stamps on to send 12 entries per day for 2 months. So good luck to anyone who chooses to buy some products or do the snail mail entry. Also, the Heineken brands, Dos Equis, all the sister brands of Heineken. It was brought up in a Zoom meeting, thanks to our friend, Captain Billy J. Travels, that, and I didn't know this until he brought it up a few weeks ago, that when you win a Heineken prize or Dos Equis or, basically anything under that brand umbrella, they kind of put you in Heineken jail. So you can have one prize during any 6-month period, and this applies to Heineken, Amstel, Dos Equis, Murphy's, Newcastle, Red Stripe, Strongbow, Tecate, and Tiger. So not something I was aware of before, but as soon as I found out, I stopped doing the sweepstakes that included a prize of like a neon sign or a $10 Venmo payment, because obviously I want to go and enter in the Heineken or their partner sweepstakes for something that's, $500, $1,000, something more. So thank you to our friend Bill Jensen for the information. And as I saw in some of the Facebook groups, a lot of people were already aware of this, and shame on me for either missing or not reading clearly enough the official rules of those sweepstakes to know that you can only win one prize from them every 6 months. So I look forward to cutting down the number of ones that I do and not shooting for the smaller ones, trying to shoot for the bigger sweepstakes, as it were. And if you are thinking of doing the same thing, if you're entering for any reason, or you have any tips on how to avoid that, again, feel free to email me at the show, sweepstakespodcast@gmail.com, sweepstakespodcast@gmail.com, or, like I mentioned before, you can Google Official Rules Podcast on Google and touch base with us on Instagram or TikTok or Twitter. And thank you once again for listening to the show. So that pretty much does it for our beginning half. Obviously, we have a top 5, a brand new top 5. And this one I found real interesting, with not only a good amount of kind of different sweepstakes and interesting prizes, but some oldie but goodies that seem to be popping up again, as they do every quarter, 6 months, or sometimes annually, depending on how often they come out with the sweepstakes. But coming in at number 5, I chose the Kinder Pop Yourself Instant Win, 120 instant prize winners are going to be able to create a custom Funko Pop made in their image, which my son absolutely loves Funko Pops. And at the end of the year, I put up 2 huge shelves in his room to make room for a bunch of Pops in his collection. So if I won this, I'm assuming they would let me submit a picture of my kid and be able to make a pop in his own image. This is a daily entry. It's open to all of our friends in the 50 United States, including DC, ages 18 and older. This is going to run from January 1st through April 30th. And as I mentioned, there's going to be 120 total winners. The retail value of that pop, custom pop, is $35. So good luck to everybody who enters in that one, and I certainly hope I could win this, because I think my kid would go absolutely nuts to be able to get a Funko Pop made in his own image. So I'm going to put the pedal to the metal, and we're going to enter this one every day until April 30th, and we'll see what happens next. Coming up, number 4 on our brand new top 5, the Lunchables $1 million gaming super sweepstakes. This one was interesting, and this one is actually going to make me go out and buy some of the products, because for the cost of a stamp, double cost of the stamp, you can get a Lunchable and actually, feed it to your kids, have a snack for yourself. But this is a really big one. This one, and subsequently, it's also kind of short term. So it's going to run for about 2 months, January 2nd to March 31st of this year. It's open to all of our friends in the 50 United States, including DC, that are ages 13 and older. Now, this goes against one of my rules. This is unlimited entry. So essentially, you could mail in a stamp. I forget how much a stamp is now, 60, 70 cents, something like that. And you'll get one gameplay for every entry due by mail. Or if you go to Walmart and you don't mind pepperoni, they have the pepperoni and cheese crackers for about $1.20 that you could purchase and count as an entry. If you want a little bit of a better deal, you can get the ham and cheese or turkey and cheese ones that cost $1.80, but they have more product in them, so they're a better value even for the dollar. The big thing about this sweep is that there's going to be 65 winners that are going to get $4,000 worth of gaming gear, and those are just the grand prizes. So 65 people getting a grouping of $4,000 of gaming gear. Reading the rules, they're doing about 5 every week. Plus, they're doing 7,400 winners getting a $100 gaming gift card for Nintendo, PlayStation, or Roblox. So, obviously, as a parent, my kid eats Lunchables anyway. So, probably after the recording of this podcast, I'm going to run to Walmart and buy 10. As long as they're individual on the receipt, according to the rules. If you buy 10, they'll count one receipt as having 10 entries, as long as they're 10 specific line items. So feel free to read the official rules. But that is not only a kind of a short-term sweep, a huge amount of grand prizes, being that there's 65, and then an absolute ton of first place $100 digital gaming gift cards. And they're breaking down these giveaways on a weekly basis. So whether you're doing a mail-in or you're buying Lunchables, make sure you get in, because the chances are going to be really good that you're probably going to win something, because that's just the odds alone. Figure how many people are actually keeping receipts and sending them in, and actually attempting to win in the sweepstakes. I think the odds on this one are actually pretty good. So good luck to everybody who entertains this sweep. Number 3, and this is going to be a repeat, I'm sure, many times over, but they made the list again. The T-Mobile Tuesdays, week number 449, sweepstakes, they're going to be giving away one grand prize. And I love this not only for the amount, the fact that it's weekly, but for the amount of offset cash you're getting. One grand prize winner is going to get a check for $25,000 plus an additional offset tax check for $10,714.29. And if that wasn't good enough, if you don't win the grand prize, they are giving away, along with that, 20 first prizes of $250. So T-Mobile does it again. Obviously, this only runs for 1 week, from the 7th through the 14th of January. Open to all of our friends in the 50 United States, D.C., U.S. Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico. Ages 18 and older, it is a one and done. So get over to the either the T-Mobile Tuesdays alternative method of entry site that I'll post with the sweepstakes, or if you are a T-Mobile customer, they have the T-Mobile Tuesdays app that you would enter in. Good luck to everybody on that one. Number 2, the Major League Fishing MLF 2025 Toyota Road to Red Crest Sweepstakes. They are going to award one grand prize winner, a 2025 Toyota 4Runner. 2 first prizes are going to get $500. This one runs a little bit differently. So this is going to go from January 6th to April 6th. It is a daily. It's open to the legal residents of the contiguous United States and D.C. Sorry, to our friends in Hawaii and our friend Lori in Alaska. You have to be ages 21 or older and be a licensed U.S. driver. So you've probably seen this one before. It's a simple click every day. So how this works is you're going to receive a trip to the Red Crest Outdoor Expo in Huntsville, Alabama. And you're going to be one of 3 people who has a chance to win the Toyota 4Runner. So if nothing less, if you win the grand prize, at minimum, you're going to get a trip to the Outdoor Expo. But you're not guaranteed that car until, I assume, they give you, out of the 3 people, they give each person a key, and whichever key starts it is the winner. So the finale for the expo is going to be, they list it as April 6th. They say enter daily through March 2nd. So good luck to everybody who enters that one. Although the Land Cruiser is a fine vehicle, the Toyota 4Runners are sharp as well. So it's we got Toyota on the mind this week with a lot of prizes being given away by Toyota. Number 1 on our sweepstakes top 5, and this comes up a lot, and I just clicked on it, and I might be mistaken, and it could have thrown me off at this point because the way I had it listed, and I could have sworn, well, you blew it on that one, Jeff. Okay, so I was clicking on an old link, but I was able to bring up the new one. Camping World, as I was mentioning, they give away RVs, and I've been wanting an RV, a small towable one, for such a long time. Not something that I'm going to come out of pocket for, because even the smaller ones on sale, you're looking 13, 15, 20 grand for a 15 to 18 foot towable. So every year they have a giveaway. They do it quarterly, and basically you get a $20,000 credit towards the purchase of an RV for the nearest Camping World dealership. They restarted again for this year, and boy, oh boy, am I glad I found that link. And there might be a little quick edit that you'll notice before I post this podcast, because that threw me a little bit off guard. But Camping World 2025 sweepstakes, go ahead and enter it. If you can't use an RV, go ahead and sell it or give it to me as a birthday present in August. Who knows? Boy, am I glad I found that. Well, that's going to do it for another episode. I'm going to head out to Walmart, grab my Lunchables, maybe have a snack and enter in my receipt for the end of this week, and we'll see what happens. But certainly, if anything else comes up, if you have any questions or comments, thoughts or suggestions, once again, sweepstakespodcast@gmail.com, as well on social media, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. Official Rules Podcast, starring your very own Jay Victor. Thank you so much for listening to another episode, and we'll see you next week. Have a great weekend.
This has been a Father and Son production.